Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Carrie Show. Ooh, I'm so excited today. I have my best friend in the whole wide world and soul sister, Sophia Leva with me as my guest today. And we are going to, I think we're going to open up the doorways to this new consciousness that I haven't shared a ton about, but I feel like we're really together here, literally in the physical form, to show you an entirely new way of living through the consciousness of Sophia. And we are both part of a global movement of women who are literally just catching on fire with purpose and wealth and love. And I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to allow Sophia to share a little bit about who she is. And I'm going to ask her some questions that are going to help really share what the Sophia Christ consciousness is and what it means to you. It's really, really, really important. So hi, Sophia.
Hi, Carrie.
It's really nice to be with you today.
You as well.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Sophia Leva with nurturingdivinebeauty.com. What I am is an activator. I activate the kings and the queens of the Sophia Christ consciousness. That's both in the male and female form, and also your feminine and masculine within yourself. That allows you to bring in your purpose, your wealth, your leadership, who you are for your family, and who you're here to be.
Wow. Okay. So what does it mean to be, because we've talked about, I've done activations on this, and I've with some guests that we've had on, we've done some energy stuff, but what does it mean to be an activator of the Christ consciousness? Of the kings and, first of all, the kings and queens. So
yes. So I was actually talking to Barbara Wilder the other day, and we were talking about the second coming of Christ. And what she said that struck me is that there are millions now who are doing this. It's not just one. So that's what Carrie's doing. That's what I am doing. That's what we're doing together. And if you are watching this, you are part of that. It's activating what's been lying dormant within you, your Christ consciousness, your divinity, your purpose that's always been within you, that maybe you've had an inkling of, maybe you're actually working towards, maybe you're actually helping people in your family and your clients, but there's so much more. And that's what's being ignited, is your full potential as the divine Christ consciousness that you are.
So to my understanding, we have different roles, right?
Yes.
So you're here to awaken a lineage that is the male and the female through sexuality.
Right.
Which the power of who we are as sexual creatures unlocks sacred gifts, which come forward, and you actually get to discover who you are through that.
Yes.
Right. So what was there a turning point in your life that actually, were you always this person? Did you always understand? Did you always understand?
No.
Did you always understand that you were powerful?
I always understood that I had questions. I grew up Jehovah's Witness, which is very structural. And my mother is, one of the zealots of the religion. So I was told what to do, what to think, what to wear, who to marry, all of this. So when I actually left the religion, I didn't know who I was. And I actually spiraled. I did not take the good girl path. I went kind of completely rebellious. And then at a certain point, that led to depression. And then it led to searching. And during my search, I found energy modalities. And once I found that, it was such a relief. It was an answer to a question that I've been having since a child. Like, why did I know things as a child? Mm-hmm. How could I tell people were pregnant or were lying mm-hmm. or were getting ready to die? Mm-hmm. You know, how would I know these things? And it was always shut down. So at age, 30, I believe, was when I had this, you know, expansion that told me who I was. And that was just the beginning. And then I followed the steps to, you know, working with Kuan Yin, to Isis, to Mary Magdalene. And all of these are actually ascended masters of the Sophia. You may be familiar with them. There are so many more. But if you're on this path, you've already been introduced to her, the divine creatrix, in some way.
Mm-hmm. So we know the divine creatrix is the divine feminine, right? And so how I know her to be as wisdom, mm-hmm. right? So how do we access this, and how do we bring it alive so that we can actually access, say, our dreams and our wealth and our, you know, this legacy that we're here to create? If there's millions of us, imagine if 1 million women now mm-hmm. all of a sudden declared that they were going to become all that they could become and step into all of their power. Mm. Right?
What a world that would be.
What would this world look like?
Mm. Yes. And the great news is it's within you. Mm-hmm. And I know you hear that and you're like,
mm-hmm. yeah. I know. It's like, no, but I still feel this way, or I still feel that way, or I still have these limiting beliefs and this, yeah, but go ahead.
But it's actually about activating what is within you. It's literally divine DNA that is within your body. It's actually housed around your carbon DNA, your human DNA. Mm-hmm. It's literally always been there. And it's just asking to be activated, asking to be ignited, asking for you to claim your throne, your domain, your power, your leadership, your purpose. Claim what you're having for your family, for yourself, and the legacy you want to create.
Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. I have questions about that. What do you mean? Okay, it's already inside of us, this wisdom, and it's part of our DNA. Mm-hmm. And what has caused us to not have this all the time? Like what is, if we were born with it, like, why isn't it easy?
There's such sublimation of it. We're taught to not to shine. We're taught to put others first. We're taught to not shine as bright as others. Mm-hmm. It's actually a cultural problem that we've been facing. It's not just, you know, what we're taught these days, but it's, you know, lifetimes of this treatment, this knowledge that's been kind of put into our cellular memory that has to be released. It's the culture, it's the religions, it's your family, it's what we're taught. You know, this telesummit I'm doing, we're talking about sexuality, and many people think they don't have sex education, but they do. It's just not the right one.
I was thinking about that the other day. Not to get totally sidetracked, but we educate about everything that could go wrong with sex.
Yes.
But we actually create through sex.
Yes. Yes. And what the Sophia Christ consciousness is about impact. And the places we have the most impact is our sexuality, which is not just about sex, it's our power and it's our wealth. It's how we can use our money. So that's why Carrie and I came together, because we are these leaders in divine sexuality and divine wealth, so that the men and women who are here to really stand up as these lights of the Sophia Christ consciousness can choose to claim it and know how to access it and know how to use it for the legacy they're here to create.
So if you're watching this, you are part of the Sophia Christ consciousness, because energy we work on vibration. So if you're vibrationally brought into this space to watch, it's because you actually have an extraordinary gift that is dormant inside of you.
Yes.
And let's see, Sophia, the way that we were brought together was extraordinary.
Yes.
Right? Was it not? And we actually, what we want to do right now is we want to show you how Sophia and I communicate through energy. And what we are able to see as we are here together, she's helping me parent my children. Like, she was an answer to my prayer that happened very, very quickly. And she's living with me in Massachusetts, building her business. She's getting ready to go on an epic global journey, because we actually are able to see aspects of our future simply by using our wisdom. And we want to share that with you, and we actually want to help bring you into that. It's like it's this consciousness that is absolutely very easy to access. In fact, with my clients, I am shocked at how fast they are able to get into the energy of their future and actually see beyond what they're not seeing, or what their perception is.
Yes.
So let's see, how can we best do this? We want to talk about the spiral of our heart, and then specifically the heart breath, and that actually contains information in it. And that when Sophia and I, we call it spiraling, and it's something that we're able to do to see our future or to clear blockages, and to upgrade our DNA so that we are more of our divine self. And we all have, these, we all get in these situations where we might be energetically blocked, and we're able to move each other through that. This is like the communication of the future.
Yes.
But since we are actually in the future, we're going to bring that to you right now. So let's just go and see what happens. So what we intend to do is we intend to just show you what is possible for you. And again, my clients and I do this all the time. They're going to start doing it with each other. Sophia, I know that you share this as well with the people in your community. And so the heart has a spiral. It's an energetic space. It's an energetic living life force. This is all about bringing our future alive. And just we share what we see in each other's energy or in our own energy. I see you with a suitcase.
And what I actually see is, actually I should say what I feel are emotions. I feel grief. I feel fear. I feel anger. I feel despair and hurt. I feel disappointment and just feeling like a failure. And these things are resting in your womb. This is your creative space. And whether it's a physical illness or what do I want to say? Something that's physically happened to you, whether it's been like an abortion or losing a child, whether it was a miscarriage or an older child, whether it's your dreams just not happening, the fears that you're going through, these are actually sitting in your womb, which is your creative space. And this is actually what fuels your desires. It fuels your being able to create that. So what I've been feeling today is a need for clearing. In the Sophia energy, there is roses, the ultimate spiral. So for each person, what I'm going to do is pour that rose oil into your womb.
I see it just like washing the womb, circling it, spiraling it.
Yes. And And then bringing in gold energy, which is that divine liquid light of love. It's pouring down from the heart. And it's mixing with that rose oil. And then I see a large match, but instead of I think it's carbon on the end, it's a diamond at the end. This is the diamond energy that we work with, the diamond energy that Carrie teaches in her Divine Life Ministries. It's the diamond that you are. And we're going to strike that match and just allow that to ignite everything in there. All those emotions, all the desires, all the dreams. It's transmuting and igniting, fueling. And then as if there's a huge wind, to me it looks like a backdraft, and it just blows all of that fire up to your heart.
I felt that.
And just feel that. It's fueling that love that Carrie was talking about. Fueling who you are. And I feel the spiral happening from the heart there. You want to lead them through the heart press?
Yeah. So what we just did with our energy was a clearing of the womb space. And that is the creative part of men and women. And now what I want to take you through is how to use that fuel that is now in your heart, that fire that is now in your heart, to actually jumpstart your future. And to know that whatever is currently blocking you, standing in your way, clouding your vision, clouding your truth, it's actually part of the recipe that is needed for you to discover who you are. And so if you could use your heart, if you could use love, the energy of love, to show you that everything that is in your pathway right now is there to help you discover who you are, to move forward. And that if you elevated yourself above being a mom, worrying about your children, worrying about your finances, being frustrated with your spouse, looking at the little things and all the things that you want to change, if you could pick yourself up and elevate just a little bit further today, to see that you already have everything you need to get started. And what I mean by that, and what we started off by saying, was that you already have the gift inside of you. And you know, personally, as a mom, I used to be really frustrated, Sophia, with why aren't I moving forward fast enough? Where is my money? You know, why are my kids misbehaving? And what I realized was that it wasn't even a thought, but it was what was coming from me. What was the energy coming from me? Was it coming from wisdom? Was it coming from truth? Or was it coming from fear? And what we just did was we really helped to remove the fear, the worry, the doubt that is blocking you from accessing your wisdom.
And then the misassumption that what you see in front of you is a stumbling block. It's actually a stepping stone.
It's actually a stepping stone. I mean, the two of us together in the past 4 months. We've had a pathway that has been full of stepping stones.
Yes.
And each step, it's each step that we took, right? Each, staying in faith, staying in love, being together,
Yes.
right? We realize that we're more powerful together the more conversations we have about how do we trust, how do we stay on the mission, how do we bring others into that pathway. We actually got stronger. The consciousness got stronger. We had a conversation. We were out to dinner the other night, and all of a sudden this wave of energy took over me, and I was like, oh my gosh. And you asked me the question, is it your intuition or is it fear? And I want you to speak to that, because I think there's a lot of women out here who really would like to know what is the intuition and what is actual wisdom that's speaking to you, and what is your fear? And can you speak to that, because it made perfect sense to me. And I bet that it would really help women listening listen more to themselves.
As women especially, we're taught to listen to other people. So it's actually a practice to start to listen to yourself. And your intuition is the very first thought you have. It's often fleeting. It's something, it's kind of like you hear it, but you're kind of like, what was that? But that is your wisdom. And once you receive it, it is yours. So if you're like, oh, I missed it, like what's going to happen? You don't have to worry about that, because it is in your energy. It is yours. You cannot lose it. So if you just ask to retrieve that energy, that intuition, that wisdom, and it's literally coming from within you. You are the storehouse of the Sophia wisdom. You are the storehouse of your own wisdom. It's literally coming from within you. And the more you do it, the more you listen to it, and the more you actually follow through on it, the stronger it becomes, and the easier it is to hear it.
Yeah. So can you give some examples in your life of how your wisdom has guided you to all the right steps, even though you haven't understood why?
Oh, there's so many examples. The one that's kind of coming to me is I was in a long-term relationship, 10 years, and I knew it wasn't the place for me. He was one of the best men I know, but not a match for me. And I knew the relationship was coming to an end, but I didn't know how to end it. I was feeling dependent on him. I didn't have an answer as to how this would end, yet I knew it wasn't, right for me, but it was still kind of dragging on, which I'm sure, some women can relate to. Like you're in this situation and you're like, okay, I don't want to be here, but I don't know how to get out.
Yeah.
But I just kept asking, like, okay, what do I do? And I would hear little prompts like, oh, you should find your passport. You should clean out your closet. You should, call this person. So over a period of 8 months, I followed little prompts, and seemingly small, but I was offered a job in Los Angeles by a healer I was working with. And because I had literally followed each and every one of those pieces, I could have left that day. But in order to honor my relationship, I asked him for 10 days and then was able to extricate myself easily from that situation, just because I had listened and was willing to follow what seemed like nonsensical, like, why look for my passport? I'm not going anywhere. Why clean out my closet?
Yeah.
When what you're seeing is not what you're wanting, it's still to follow the information, because it's for a reason.
You are so good at this. You are so good at this. And so, when it doesn't make sense, like our brain wants to try to make sense of the wisdom. For instance, I've been getting guidance that has to do with a lake, a carrot cake.
Yes.
And then I get guided to, to read a specific verse in the Bible, or to watch a video, or to connect with a person. And what I'm learning is sometimes you don't have to take any action. And we're like, as a mom, it's so hard for me not to always be in action.
Right.
And you see me, I eat standing up. I finish half of my meals, right? And so this is part of what my experience is here, is to actually fully enjoy life. And what, and enjoy it, meaning like be in joy.
Yes.
And happiness, because those are manifesting powers. We haven't really talked about manifesting, but the Christ consciousness, the Sophia Christ consciousness of awakening women, millions and millions, men and women, are awakening to feel inside of them that there is more. And it starts off with this desire. And it kind of, for me, it felt like I was no longer okay with status quo. This happened to you with your relationship. For me, it was my job, it was my relationship, and it was just being me. I really didn't want to be me anymore. I wanted to be a bigger, better version of me. And so those are all part of the recipe, right? That's actually being presented to you. And does it not kind of feel scary? Like, it feels scary to no longer be comfortable in your own skin. It feels scary to no longer be, want to be in this situation. And yet, what can you share about that? About how you transform through that fear?
What I've learned is that every single thing that's happened in my life, the good, the bad, the seemingly, inane, has been for a reason. Whether it's connecting with someone who I worked for, whether it's, you should go to a coffee shop.
Right, you get that a lot.
I do.
Just go here now.
Exactly, yes. Coffee shops are my specialty. But it's all for a reason. Like, the signs are literally everywhere. And we're just more attuned to some. And the more you actually expand into that, the more you actually see that the Sophia, the universe, is gifting you all these signposts for you that are telling you you're doing the right thing, you're going the right way. It doesn't matter if it looks scary in this moment, you have already surpassed it. That's kind of where we get stuck, is we look at what's happening, whether it's a ton of bills, the kids are screaming.
Hey, Sophia.
Whether it's
hi, I'm just going to mute you, but welcome. We have another Sophia on.
See, we're everywhere. So all these different things, you're looking at what looks to be reality, but that's not what's the truth of you. And when you open your eyes, when you open your heart, when you're just willing to claim it, then you can actually receive this information that's here to give you your next step, that's here to give you a bolster to your faith, that's here to just give you a piece of joy that will help you get through the moment.
That's amazing. So, so there's signs, right? There's signs that are already in your life right now in front of you that are leading you in the direction of your dreams.
Yes.
Right. So you're actually, we're able to see beyond physical, meaning, so you actually know that you're here to do some really amazing things because we've seen them.
Yes.
And so can we share some of those things?
Sure.
You want to do that? So, I mean, share what you know about yourself, your wisdom. And this is her wisdom that she knows about herself.
I know that I'm here to create a new paradigm of the two things we mentioned, the impact, sex and wealth, which is your power and your impact. And of course, I had the most trauma around them because what we learn what we've had the most experience with is what we teach.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm here to really lead, as I said, to awaken these kings and queens to embody, to lead, to ripple out their power, their leadership, their wealth, and their sexuality, which is their creative power.
And you're also here to create a clothing line.
Yes.
And you're also
Yes.
here to create divine beauty products.
Yes. Yes. Beauty has been something that, has been a part of my life since I was a kid. Like if you looked at my homework, at 5 or 18, I had clothes drawn all over everything.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm here to do is to create a beautiful couture line that is energy based. So to have the feelings that you're wanting, to heal, to beautify, and to really start to change that kind of consumer aspect that we're coming from, but to have one of healing and beauty, and to wear that, to be that, to feel that, and to have that come through your life.
I love that you're connecting the feeling to the being, because so many times we're disconnected from our feelings and we're just doing.
Yes.
And so to actually drop into the feeling and be able to, I can't wait, to be able to put on clothing that actually brings alive in us, in our skin, in our inner space. I mean, this is like the future.
Yes.
And we know that future is actually already waiting for you, meaning we've already been able to see the space.
Yes.
We've already been, I mean, this is like so incredible. And it's a consciousness, it's an energy, and it's here on the planet right now.
Yes.
I think for years we were the conduit of actually bringing in this energy.
Right.
And now it's like super easy to be able to use it. Let's see what other question I have. What's the first step of let's say that you don't know much about this, right? You're just kind of like tuning into it. How do you know when you're being knocked on? Like what the knock on the door, or what's something that people who are listening or going to be listening, who, they're like, well, how do we know?
I think a couple things. You're always in question. Like you're always questioning, like, well, that doesn't make sense to me, or why is that way? It starts when you're a child. You're questioning what you see, the order of things. You're always in question. And then also the feeling of there has to be more. Like it doesn't matter if your life looks storybook or if it looks like shit. Like if you feel there has to be more, like I know there's more inside of me, but I don't know where to look. You're not seeing examples in your life, of how to access it or how to be it. Or the examples you see are maybe someone like Oprah or something like that, that seems so far out of reach. And you're like, okay, how would I even get there? So you kind of feel blocked. Like, okay, I know there's more, but I can't get there. But if you're here, you can get there. And the other reason you can get there is because you are attracted to this. Because literally we cannot do this on our own. Like life shows you the examples that there is balance, ebb and flow, light and dark, the moon and the sun, masculine and feminine. There has to be balance. So if you're searching, know that there is a match.
That's so perfect. So like I see it as what you are seeking is seeking you.
Yes.
So the big thing I want to speak into right now is the biggest actual blockage for people. And what do you think that's going to be? What's the biggest blockage that people face around their own self-growth or stepping in?
I would say the who am I to do this? The not feeling enough, that I didn't have the right pedigree or the right background, or I did all these things that weren't considered to be right. So they don't have the confidence or the the enoughness to know that they can actually step into the person they were here to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a big thing. And the other piece is like, there's what I'm feeling too is like the enoughness, but am I really prepared? And this is what I say to all people who are stepping in is like, the first thing that you get to do is receive, get yourself, comfortable, release, and then fill yourself. Because until, I call it like you're building the new house. You've got like building the house of Carrie, or building the house of Sophia, or building the house of Sophia. So we can hold our soul's mission, because our soul's mission for all of us out there is as big as you want it to be. Truly. And what I was going to say is money, which is attached to work, right? And what I want to share with you is what you are seeking is seeking you. So if your life has been a struggle around finances, or your life, my particular thing has been love and money. So I'm here to teach how to use love to create money. And that has to do with self-love, which has to do with trust and worthiness and wisdom, to use that to create money. And so it's very similar.
Yes.
It's very, very similar. And imagine if millions and millions of people all of a sudden claimed their wealth, claimed their purpose, claimed their service. But here's the thing, Sophia, like, we know it's going to happen.
Right.
We know it's going to happen. And we know that, by us being together in the physical form and sharing this information, that we actually created more of a ripple, more energy moving forward towards the future. And if there's one thing that I can share with you is like, look up out of the struggle and out of the circumstances and out of the now moment, and know that your soul has already created everything that you need. And the only thing stopping you is your fear. Would you like to add anything else as we kind of sign off?
And I would say the only thing also is choosing it. Like, because you can look past the fear. Like, there are people who are afraid of things and they still walk past them.
All the time.
So it's choosing it.
Yeah.
Our coach says fear means go.
Oh yeah. Fear means go. And you're so right, because there's been so many circumstances in my life where I've been like, down to, today waking up and saying, okay, well, I don't have clarity today. I'm kind of nervous about what my day is going to be like. So fear means go.
Yes.
I love that.
So choose.
And here's the thing, as soon as you choose, the universe responds to you.
Yes.
And the universe is ready to give you, meaning God, the universe is ready to give you all that you want.
Yes. And then also, don't be afraid of the steps. Like, the grand vision,
the big thing.
It's just one step at a time.
Yeah.
Like, you just need to be led to your next step.
Yeah.
Like, you may see the bigger vision, you may feel like there's so much more, but don't look at that as a stumbling block. Like, that is the brilliance that is meant to inspire you. But no, in order to get that, it's just one single step at a time.
Yeah, it's one step at a time, and keeping the vision in the future alive, but staying in the moment.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
My soul sister. I secretly call her my wife. And here's the thing.
Not so secretly anymore.
Right. I actually believe that every single woman in the world should have, we need each other. And I'm speaking to moms. Like, moms, we know that men have a purpose in our lives, right? And they could be extraordinary. We could be in extraordinary relationships with men. We also need to connect with women who are doing what we want to do.
Yes.
And this was how we have the same coach, but this is how we move along really, really fast.
Right.
I mean, when I prayed for Sophia, I said, please, God, I'm ready to have somebody in my life who can just be with me and help and like be a role model to my children and inspire me and love me. And within 24 hours, not even of that, Sophia and I connected on Facebook, and she said, I can be at your house in 3 days. And her wish was what? You really know what your wish was.
Well, I wanted like a stable place as I'm moving towards going to Europe. Like I knew I needed to really have some traction, and I wasn't getting that from kind of the gypsy lifestyle I've been living for a while. So I needed some stability. So by literally asking that day, it was like, what do I go do? And it was like, go to Starbucks. So I went to Starbucks and popped on Facebook, and Carrie was doing a Facebook Live, and that was
put my declaration out there, and within like 30 seconds, she's like, I'll be there in 3 days. Just pick me up at the airport. I was like, all right, here we go.
And that's what it was. So
yeah,
it can be that easy.
It can be that quick. Oh,
yes.
We have some messages. Awesome story. Hello. Hi, Sophia. I'm so glad you joined us. Yes. This is the kind of stuff, this is this is truly the new way of living. It is like collaboration, deep wisdom, really, really, I mean, opening our eyes to the unknown and starting to see the unknown.
Yes.
And then knowing that it's true. I mean, what happened to me the other day just by watching HGTV is I realized that, you know, there was this home waiting for me in the Bahamas, and my soul had led me there, and I know that I'm going to the Bahamas in April. And so this is how we get to create. This is what the consciousness is all about. And of course, if I understand that I'm going to be buying a home in the Bahamas, and you understand that you're going to be in the Czech Republic and in France and Italy and all these places, we obviously know that what happens is God gives us the opportunity for the money as we need it for our service. And this is all part of this amazing consciousness that is called the Christ Sophia consciousness. It is calling forward. So I'm here to activate queens, moms, to become the creators of their own destiny, to become creators of their own dream come true life that is real and alive inside of you. You have everything you need right now. Sophia's here to awaken the kings and the queens. I don't know. I think my king will have that job. I don't know if I'm here to awaken men. But you definitely know for sure you are. Yes. And so what are you here to do?
Right. And you've been receiving messages, but when you start to tune into them, they'll start to coalesce. Mm-hmm. And, you know, there's something we always hear, it takes a village to raise a child. Mm-hmm. But a child can literally be a child. It could be birthing your purpose. Mm-hmm. It could be birthing, you know, a business. It could be whatever you're here to create. So you require the community, the wisdom from others that can help you connect these pieces. And those who've already, you know, maybe a couple steps ahead or a few steps ahead, they can show you and they can inspire you that you can do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it is exactly. Greece, Sophia, I would love to come to Greece. I've actually seen images of a yacht in Greece.
Yes, I've seen Greece as well. So.
Yeah. So, right? This is how it's no coincidence that we've seen these images, and that it's part of the awakening. It's part of how we communicate. So, yeah. Awesome. To everybody who is on today, and for those people who are going to be watching in the future down the road, I'm live every other Wednesday at 11:30 Eastern Time, the Carrie Ann Show. And I would love to have more people right here. This is so cool that you're here in the physical, because I think we get stronger together. So I know that you do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sophia. And for everybody who is watching, thank you, Sophia.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions, you can reach out to us on Facebook, and we'll be there to answer your questions. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.